Lincoln City might not be a club you'd expect to have an Argentinian connection.
But not many people know there's another Lincoln in Argentina, 7,000 miles away from here in England.
That club is called Club Rivadavia de Lincoln, and they also play in red and white stripes.
It's a crazy footballing coincidence that you just couldn't write. And as a Lincoln City fan who found themselves in Argentina, I found it impossible not to set myself a challenge. Bring a Lincoln City shirt from here at the LNAR Stadium in England all the way to Argentina and see if we can swap it with the club out there.
And that journey turned out to be some adventure. So in this video, I'll tell you the story of how a footballing coincidence managed to connect two clubs half the world apart.
Now, a bit of a background as I walk along Sinselbank with the stadium here and the cathedral in the background. Firstly, as you can tell, my accent isn't from Lincoln itself. I grew up in Belfast, but with my dad being from Lincolnshire, it was impossible not to support this club. And that meant that the stadium over there is where I witnessed my first ever competitive football match. A 0-0 draw against Doncaster Rovers in the old 3rd Division. Not exactly set myself up for the glory like many other fans have supporting bigger clubs, but I was hooked after that.
Fast forward a few years, when I moved to England permanently in 2014, I was able to start following the club more regularly. And I don't shy away of showing how proud I am of my Lincolnshire roots. Just check out these photos from when I was working in Qatar for the World Cup in 2022, when I brought the Lincolnshire flag with me and put it proudly on display. Some may have seen this randomly show up at a Costa Rica and Japan match, and the holy grail almost of getting the Lincolnshire flag behind Lionel Messi when he scored against Australia. And that was actually the match that convinced me to drop everything and go on an adventure in Argentina. And before arriving, while doing a bit of research, I accidentally stumbled upon a place called Lincoln. And with a bit more research, I found out that the city was located over 330 kilometers to the west of Buenos Aires. And then I found out that the place has a football club called Club Rivadavia de Lincoln. And the craziest thing is that they play in red and white stripes too, just like my club, Lincoln City. This colourway isn't something you'd see that often in Argentina, Estudiantes de La Plata being the biggest team who play in red and white stripes in the country. But Club Rivadavia did, and instantly a plan came to mind. If I was going to head to Argentina, then surely a trip to watch this team would be an adventure. And after a lot of planning, I found myself on a 7 a.m. bus from Buenos Aires, beginning the long journey across the country to Lincoln. With my shirt in hand, I honestly felt like I was living in a film, and that film was only going to get more interesting in the coming hours. And the thoughts were going by my head, when I appear in this place in the middle of Argentina, what will the people think? What will the fans think? What will just people walking around the town think? But as I got through the long 6-hour journey, the excitement started to build. And within what felt like a flash, I was arriving. Well then, I've arrived in Lincoln, Argentina. 7,000 miles separate Lincoln in England and Lincoln in Argentina, but I'm here in my imp shirt. It's just, I've barely got words for this. It's just so crazy, to be honest. I mean, I was almost laughing when we arrived in the bus there, just thinking it's like a glitch in the Matrix. It's like, this should not be happening, but we're here, we're making it happen. This is going to be some experience. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I found out about this club, like I said in the intro, I couldn't believe it. So to actually be here, standing in front of this sign, a city with the same name of a city I know too well, just, it's just crazy. I can't stop laughing. So I'm just walking through suburbia now to get to the ground. And yeah, it's a super chill town. It's actually, obviously, being in Buenos Aires for so long now, it is super chill. But yeah, it feels super Spanish as well. You can definitely see the influence. But we're just about 5 minutes away to the ground now. Now, just before we get to the ground, I thought I'd give you a quick comparison of both clubs. Lincoln City, based in Lincoln, England, founded in 1884. At the time of release, EFL League One. Stadium, the LNAR Stadium, known historically as Sinselbank. Club Rivadavia de Lincoln, as we said, based in Lincoln, Argentina. Founded 1915. League, La Liga Deportiva Oeste. Stadium, the Estadio de Lincoln, sometimes known as El Coliseo, but mostly the Estadio de Lincoln. Now back to the adventure where we were finally arriving at that stadium. Even just being here to me is just absolutely insane, to be honest. It's crazy, like literally stood at the pitch watching a team playing red and white stripes that have Lincoln in the name. You know, how many games of Lincoln City have I been to watch? It's it's kind of like confusing when you're actually here to think like I'm actually 7,000 miles away from Sinselbank. And as you can see just in the background, there's some of the younger teams playing. They're literally playing right before the senior team. So right up the ages, they play throughout the morning, early afternoon, and then the senior team comes on at 4 o'clock. But as well, this is a small club in a small town, so of course there's not going to be as many fans here. An interesting chat there with the president beforehand, just off camera. He said something like the town has 40,000 inhabitants, but it has 6 clubs. This is one of the main ones, obviously, but just think about the distribution of people there. So to even have a ground of this size and have a club of this size is a great achievement for them. As you can see, it's a nice ground. The president told me that it has a capacity of around 6,000 people, and as you can see here just in the distance, there's a stand over there, there's a stand over there which has more seats, and then there's another terrace stand here where I think more people go. One thing I've noticed here as well is that not many people here know of Lincoln City as a club, but I suppose, you know, you could say the same thing about us not knowing about them. I have to admit, I only found out about this club a few months ago. And after the club's youth game finished, I had the pleasure of speaking properly to the club's president.
Mi nombre es Norberto Mario Gorostiague, me dicen Peto, la mayoría, así que bueno, soy más conocido por ese sobrenombre. Este club es un club del siglo pasado, se fundó en 1915. Bueno, es un club que se inició como un club de fútbol, ¿sí? 11 locos, como le decimos nosotros, que querían jugar al fútbol y bueno, fundaron el Club Rivadavia de Lincoln. En sus principios participó en la Liga de Lincoln, pero en 1983 Rivadavia se fue a jugar a la Liga de Junín, llamada Liga Deportiva del Oeste, y que hasta hoy en día participamos en esa liga. Al principio la camiseta era blanca y bueno, después no se sabe por qué empezó con las rayas rojas, como la camiseta de estudiantes de acá de La Plata. Sí, el nombre del club, que fue por la fragata Rivadavia, una fragata que en 1915 la nación argentina compra la fragata, entonces por eso se llama Rivadavia, en honor a la fragata Rivadavia.
Now before the match started, there was only one thing left to do, and that was to swap shirts. Just as well here, a bit of a crowd had gathered behind the camera and my Spanish skills absolutely fell off a cliff, so apologies, I got a bit nervous.
Es un poco raro que nuestros clubes tienen algo en común, pero ahora estamos acá, básicamente gracias por ser muy agradable conmigo y sí, cambiamos las camisetas de Lincoln City y tu club. ¿Sí, vale?
Ahí.
Dale,
Bueno.
dale.
Muchas gracias y un gusto,
Sí.
de haber venido acá a Argentina.
Gracias.
¡Qué camarógrafo! Espectacular, apláudalo, camarógrafo.
And with the shirt swapped, it was time to turn our attention to the match. Teams are out on the pitch behind me. Let's see how this one goes. We're watching the best team in Lincoln, Argentina. We're not playing red and white stripes today. That's actually quite ironic because that's one of the reasons that actually attracted me to the club. But anyway, let's get behind the boys. Let's hope for a win today.
That's half-time here. It is 0-0. Great first half. I did think Lincoln were the better team, but we'll have to see how the second half goes. Let's hope we can get a goal here. Let's hope we can see a winner. What a goal, pick that one out, lads. Yeah, absolute schoolboy error there. I changed my battery on my camera and didn't check that it was charged, so I missed the second goal. I was trying to turn it on, it didn't turn on, but it doesn't matter. 2-0 up. 2-0 at Sinselbank as well today, so if it stays this way, both the Lincolns will have won 2-0. That's mental that I've come here to Lincoln in Argentina to watch a team that play in red and white stripes, not today obviously, in Lincoln, Argentina, and they've won 2-0 just a few hours after the Imps won 2-0 against Cheltenham at Sinselbank. Hey, what are the odds of that? That's just insane, but unreal. I can't believe that. It's like the similarities, like I said earlier, it just feels like the Matrix is being glitched today, and yeah, crazy as they say in Spanish, una locura. But what I didn't mention on the pitch was there was still one thing left to do to complete this journey, and after many more games in Argentina, and I'll admit quite a bit of time later, something special happened. So yes, I made it back to Lincoln in England with the shirt. One thing I have to say here though is I wasn't expecting to speak on the mic in front of the stadium until about 5 minutes before this happened, so I have to admit I was not prepared and very much had to wing it.
So it's essentially, there's a club in Lincoln in Argentina. There's a city called Lincoln in Argentina, and they play in red and white stripes as well. And they're called Club Rivadavia de Lincoln in Argentina, and they share red and white stripes as well. And it's just an amazing coincidence in world football. So I went over to Argentina and swapped the shirt of our Lincoln City and gave them this shirt as well, and they gave me it back. So it's just an amazing coincidence, amazing story. And
well, who knew? So, who knew there was a Lincoln in Argentina? Hands up, anybody know that? Oh, you knew. Oh, I had no idea. Could you, and could you lift the shirt up? That's it, perfect.
that was insane. Just being on the pitch in Sinselbank. Never thought when I was in Argentina and Lincoln that I'd be doing that, but kind of got a bit nervous as well because I was like matching in front of the whole pitch here, and just insane. But what an end of a journey. Brought the shirt back from Lincoln in Argentina all the way back to Lincoln in England. Unbelievable. But
so what an experience that adventure was. Still to this day, when I upload this video, which has taken a while, I admit, I cannot believe that I managed to pull this off. And when I started this channel, which still isn't the biggest channel, I never expected that the Spanish football and speaking world would bring me the whole way back to my club, Lincoln City. It's been a properly amazing experience from start to finish, and I'd just like to thank everyone at Club Rivadavia for the welcome they gave me, and of course everyone at Lincoln City for embracing this story as well. And for those wondering what happened to the shirt I gave Rivadavia, well, they framed it and put it up in an office in the stadium. So there is a piece of Lincoln City that will always be in Lincoln, Argentina. And as we always say at the partido, nos vemos in the next video.